What is up then guys, so you're doing well, welcome back to the channel. So you join me in the Fiesta. As you can see, everything is a bit of a mess, everything's in pieces, and I still love that view there. But as you can see, the wiring is looking a little bit better, everything's a little bit cleaned up. I have created little harnesses for all of the gauges, which are just plug and play and a screw for the ground. But I'm quite impressed, man. I'm not an electrical guy, but everything is very simply wired up. But it does look quite smart, if I don't say so myself. But anyway, the purpose of this video is when I took my gauges out, as you can see, these massive holes here, I didn't realise that these are going to let in air from outside. And if you don't know the anatomy of a Ford Fiesta, that is right where the catalytic converter or your exhaust manifold is. So if there is any gaps in your exhaust, that's going to be coming straight into the cabin. So I need to get this blocked up as soon as possible. So I'm quite confident with aluminium composite and steel. But I was thinking, this is meant to be a race car, or a track car, whatever you want to call it. I want to call it a race car because race car, bro. But my thought was, why add some more steel or aluminium to the car when you're trying to make it lighter? So I've brought myself a carbon fibre skinning kit, which I don't really want to skin. I want to make panels, so I'm going to try and use this skinning kit to make myself some very lightweight panel blanks, which hopefully, fingers crossed. I have done small things in the past, but as you can see, this gap here is quite girthy and long. But these two ones at the bottom should be quite easy. But yeah, it's just focusing there. And that's just where the AC used to run through and where the heater matrix run through. So, and literally as soon as these holes are blanked, that's when I can get the gauge, when I can get the dash back on and I can get the gauges in, and I should be able to start the car back up again. So yeah, let's make some templates. Okay then, so to make this template, all I'm going to use is a sheet of A4 paper. I might need to make it a little bit longer, but yeah, just a piece of plain paper, a little bit of masking tape, and a very dirty foot, which will all make sense in a bit. Oh, I've got a tack in there as well. But yeah, let's do it. To do this, I'm just going to put my piece of paper up to where it needs to be. Put a bit of masking tape on there. This is just showing you guys how to do it. I've already done my template. And then this is where the dirty foot comes in. All you need to do is rub your hand on the bottom of your shoe. And then come back up to your template. Just give it a nice rub. Need a bit more dirt. Just rub it on everything that's dirty in the car. Bring it back up to the template. There we go. Much better. And you can see that there. Just mark that very nicely around where it needs to be. And then when you're done, you'll have something that looks like this. So this is what the hole looks like now. I used a bit more masking tape to reinforce it. I did have to use 2 pieces of paper. And just where the dirty black line was, I went around it with a black marker just so it's a bit more of an idea of what the shape was. But the dirty line made a good representation of where the hole's going to be. And I've also done it for the bottom holes as well. So what I'll do with that is I'll just do, say, like a rounded square around the outside. Same, so just so that when it's all cut out and it's in a plate of carbon fibre, there's something behind the actual plate that I can use as an adhesive to stick to this area around here. Let's go. Alright then guys, so we're back in the garage now. This is the original shape that we got from inside the car. And now we've got a 2cm border that goes all the way around the outside. And that's just going to give me enough space to put adhesive, so make sure that there's enough space for it to stick inside the car. And then we've also got these 2 rectangles here with rounded corners. And these are going to be blanking off the places where the pipes were coming through for the coolant and the AC. So I'm just going to cut this up and then cut that up. And then we'll start laying down the carbon fibre. So here we go, everything's all been cut out nice and neatly. Not only is this going to be a good indicator of how much carbon fibre we're going to need to use, but it's also going to be good because at the end it's not going to have to go back and forth to the car to get the shape. We've already got the shape that we need to cut out at the end. So yeah, let's show you what we're going to be using. So this is what we're going to be using. We've got a couple of sheets of peel ply. This is quite good because it doesn't stick to the epoxy resin when it's dried. We've got some lollipop sticks so we can stir our resin and hardener. They give us a nice little paintbrush just so we can paste it on. They've got 100 grams of epoxy resin, 45 grams of epoxy hardener, and then we've got our carbon fibre twill. I think it's about 1 metre. I'll leave all the information in the description if you want to buy it yourself. I think it's 2x2K, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in, but it's quite nice. And then a pair of gloves as well. So yeah, Okay then, so the kit that you just saw is a carbon fibre skinning kit. I don't want to skin this part, I want to keep it so it's just on its own. I don't want the original part to be part of the final construct, which I think gets rid of the purpose of adding and removing weight when you're keeping both of them. So what I'm going to be using is this sheet of aluminium. It's freshly, never used. I'm going to grease this up with a bit of carnauba wax, because I don't have any PVA mold release. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put loads of carnauba wax, there we go, got it in the end, carnauba wax on it. That's going to put like a nice base layer on there, and then I'm going to use a bit of PVA glue just to give it an extra layer of protection, because I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but releasing carbon fibre is very difficult. So I'm just going to try and make this as easy as possible. If the epoxy resin doesn't lay down flat, I'll just sand it all back down and then re-epoxy it. But I've done something similar to this before and I think it should work out fine. So yeah, let's go. Then so I'm just going to wait for the PVA to dry until it's a bit sticky. I might do a second layer depending on how it goes. Don't think this is completely necessary. This is just because I've had bad experiences in the past and I don't want to do that again. I should probably rename this to Ghetto Carbon Fibre. But I'm just going to let this dry and then we'll start doing the epoxy resin. Also just found a bag of fiberglass in my garage, so I'm going to reinforce it with a little bit of this as well, give it a bit more strength, a bit more thickness, but obviously not adding a lot more weight. So let's get this cut up as well. It's okay, we've just got enough there. If you're wondering why I'm wearing welding gloves for fiberglass, until you've had fiberglass inside of your clothes, you do not understand the struggles. So always PPE when using fiberglass, because it's absolutely horrible. There we go then guys, so that's everything all done now. That's 2 layers of carbon fibre, 1 layer of fiberglass. On the last layer I had to use a little bit more resin and hardener. I didn't want to use too much because apparently if you use too much then it won't be as much of a strong part, and even though this isn't going to be a structurally integral part of the car, it is mainly just cosmetic and just blanking a hole, I would like it to have some strength there, because why not. So going to let this dry 24 to 48 hours depending if I've mixed the resin and the hardener properly. If I haven't done it properly then it might not dry at all, which I have had that experience in the past. Sorry, I quite like using my hands like this with black gloves on, it looks quite cool. But I'm going to let this dry and then we'll come back when it's all done. Let's go. And guys, so everything's nice and dried, nice and solid. I had to leave it 48 hours because 24 hours wasn't enough. But now comes to the time of peeling it off and seeing what it looks like. So 3, 2, 1. And there we go then guys, so note to self and note to all you guys, do not use PVA glue. I'll put a note in that before this, but don't use PVA glue. Get a very good mold release. With the PVA glue, I didn't let it dry properly, which I thought I did, but it started to seep into the epoxy resin and it started to turn it a little bit cloudy. But to be fair, for something that's going to be behind the dashboard, I still think it looks quite good. So you ready? 3, 2, 1. And there we go. You can see it's a bit ripply as well, that's where the glue didn't dry evenly. So yeah, recommendations on getting a good mold release. But for something that's going to be hidden and hopefully never seen again, I don't think it looks too bad. You got a nice bit of clarity in there. Okay, so what's next is I'm going to go back to the template that we did, and I think I've done this pretty well. So on the other side, I was pretty short on fiberglass, so I had to cut it exactly to the size. So what I'm going to do is just put that down to there so it's matching, there and there. And then go around the outside of a pen and draw around the outside. And there we go then guys, so that's it all nice and sanded around the edges. I went around with the Dremel with the sanding disc on it, and then after that I gave it a bit of a polish. So you can see it's nice and clean. I could give it a bit of a sand down with a bit of, what would you say, like 2000 grit, just to make it a bit more shinier. But I don't actually have any, so I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. Like I said, it's not going to be seen other than by me, and it's there to do a job, which it will do fine. I also created these two parts, so this one's to cover up the AC and the water coolant. Either they're both the same, but you can see with this one in comparison to the large one, I didn't use the PVA for this one, and I did for this one. And there is, let's try and get nice there. So there's a bit of clarity difference there. So this one's a lot more see-through. You can see a lot more of the twill, whereas this one's a bit more glared, which, to be fair, I think they both look good. But yeah, let's go put these in the car. To do this, I'm just going to use a bit of Tiger Seal. So yeah, let's go. Okay then, so we're back in the car now, and on the count of 3, 2, 1, and there we go then, guys. So everything's all nice and in. Got a nice bit of a reflection there. Actually, no, well, that's a cable tie. Yeah, it's not embarrassing, but you can see the carbon fibre tool there. Looks quite good. And the bottom two there, does it focus? There we go, they look good as well. I did forget that there is another small hole there, but I have got enough offcut from the large one and the 2 smaller ones that I can just go create another bung and just sort that out. I'll probably end up doing that once this video is over. But yeah, I'm very happy. That's the largest carbon fibre part I've ever made. Definitely tempted to do it again. I'm really thinking about doing that as carbon fibre now, but we'll see. The next step is I can put the dash back in, which I'm not going to do right now, because if you can't tell by my face, I'm absolutely sweating and I want to have a bit of a siesta because I'm working tomorrow. But I think the next couple of vids, or maybe the next video, we'll see what we're doing. I think the dash can go in, and you and me both can see what that it's going to look like with all the gauges in. But yeah, it's coming together really nicely. There's so many things that I need to do, but I'm trying not to rush things because I'd rather create content rather than just like bang everything out in a day. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Hope I've enjoyed it in any way, shape or form. If you want to create ghetto carbon fibre parts, make sure you share this with a friend. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If I have enjoyed in any way, shape or form, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.